Welcome to Innsbruck, and a very warm welcome to the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. Here we are in the Olympia Hall in Innsbruck, and it's being changed into a fantastic STIHL Timbersports arena for this weekend. The quest to find the best sports lumberjack team in the world. 300 tons of equipment, miles of cables, more than 500 spotlights, and an enormous video wall are going to help to achieve an electric atmosphere during this event. The deck alone weighs in at around 18 tons and will provide a solid stage for athletes to perform their skills upon. So the stage is set for the 10th STIHL Timbersports World Championship.
We're hoping the Norwegian team will be doing good, but we don't know yet.
Team TV are going out camp for Wales. Yeah.
My heart beats for Hungary. As the doors open, over 2,000 fans poured into the Olympia Hall and brought the arena to life.
I hereby declare the STIHL Timbersports World Championship 2014 in Innsbruck open.
The team event is a relay race, so as well as being able to handle an axe, it's also the teamwork, communication, anticipation, and of course team spirit that plays a very important factor. So from the 23 starters, we are now down to the 16 finalists. From now on, it's sudden death knockout system. After the draw, we have France against Sweden, USA facing Italy, Great Britain taking on the Rookies International, and Germany against Belgium. New Zealand is head-to-head against Hungary, Canada will meet Poland, the Czech Republic step up to Switzerland, and Australia will be up against the home team of Austria. And here's the man that keeps an eye on everything, Judge Rich Hallett.
The STIHL Timbersports team event is actually very simple, and it's basically a tournament knockout round. And so the best team wins and moves on, the worst team loses and moves out.
And the winner is Team Deutschland!
If there is a rule infraction, it's a 15-second penalty, so they're not disqualified outright, but they do get penalties, time penalty for each rule infraction. As a judge, we always watch to make sure the rules are followed, and if we think that there's a rule infraction, the first thing we do is get out our yellow flag, the sad face flag, and once you see that, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're disqualified, but we're very careful to check everything. And so we see something that doesn't look right, we'll have the judge team look at the situation, and often we go to the video check where we have a video replay, and we can see exactly what happened in great detail to make the final decision.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both times are good.
Let's get the show on the road. The fans are ready for the first duel, France against Sweden. Last year, the Swedish team made it to the quarterfinals before losing to Canada.
We had a really good World Championship last year, so we'll see this year what's happened. You never know who is your competitors, so we'll see what's happening.
All right, here we go. France has a strong showing of fans here, and
Get set.
competition is on. Aubin Brayden for France on stock saw, Dan Giris for Sweden, and it's pretty even at this point. Look at this, head-to-head. Oh, Sweden just coming out behind France in the stock saw. Underhand chop now. And Cyril Marchal is the first one to turn on underhand chop, so it looks like France has a slight advantage. Wait, no, Sweden gets through the underhand chop quickly, and now we're over to single buck, and wow, Kalle Svadling made it look like he was using a motor saw as he got through the single buck before everybody here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and now we're on to standing block chop. Both of these guys looking great, but holy smokes, Pontus Sky with a massive final blow to get through in 1:14.78. Sweden taking out France. Here's a slow-mo of the Frenchman giving it all he's got in the single buck, but the Swedes were quicker and go through to the next round. The next spectacular heats are on their way. Who will take the title of the STIHL Timbersports World Champion 2014? We'll find out after the break.
STIHL. Better garden power tools. From one generation to the next. STIHL, buy better.
Welcome back to the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. The next duel is USA against Italy. Team USA, led by Arden Kogar, finished second last year. The 44-year-old Timbersports veteran knows exactly what this team contest is all about.
From a passion, from a invigorating standpoint, I like the team events because I have 3 people standing with me trying to do the best we possibly can do.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Good start for both teams. It looks fair, and it seems like the USA has a slight advantage at stock saw. Yes, in fact, they will get through first, and it goes on to the underhand chop. Arden Kogar, very strong in this particular discipline. Oh, but he steps off the log. That may give a chance, but Arden, wow, just a powerhouse as he gets through there. And now on to single buck. Italy struggling to get a glide going on here, and the USA with a distinct advantage here as they get through the single buck. Dave Jewett really rocking and rolling, and now on to Jason Lenz and Paolo Vincenzi on the standing block chop. Wow, the USA definitely in front here. Jason Lenz, one more hit should do it, and he's through. Oh, goodness. 1:07.19 for the USA. Italy finally breaking through the log, maybe. Oh, yeah, one last final chop, and that'll get them through at 1:18.91. So, the USA with a convincing victory. Powerful strikes on the underhand chop by Arden Kogar. Such a master. Full power on the single buck. Great strides and strokes. Perfection on the standing block. Next up is Team Germany taking on Team Belgium, who are making their debut in this event. Germany got through to the quarterfinals last year before losing to Team Australia.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the team event, but our problem is we are, I think, a little bit too far away from the overseas in the chopping events, you know. And I think we have a little disadvantage in that, but I think we are a good team now. We have a good team spirit now, and I'm looking forward to what happens.
And what's the target for Team Belgium?
It's the first time we have a Belgium team, and before I train at home alone, and now we are with 4, and that's fun. That's fun, and we're gonna try to get better than the Netherlanders.
And they've definitely achieved that already just by getting this far.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Good start, a little bit faster getting started by Team Germany, but it seems like the saw got a little bit stuck. Now they're dead even. It's looking good, and oh yeah, absolutely head-to-head as they get over to the underhand chop. Germany ahead at the underhand chop. Who's it going to be getting through first? I think we're going to see Germany getting through first. Here we are. And now, single buck. Germany looking very good. Great flow right there. And Belgium looking not bad either, but it's Germany. Just a little problem at the end, but they've got a disc, and they're through to the standing block chop. And now, the standing block. Here we go. Germany already switching sides. Belgium hasn't switched sides yet, so that's not showing good for them. And that means Germany is ahead at this point, and he's getting lots and lots of support from his teammates. And Germany is through. Peter Bauer making the final blow to get Germany through in 1:09.37. Belgium with a great showing in 1:19.06, and they're happy just to have come this far. Congrats, boys. Team Germany from the starting shot to the last blow from Peter Bauer, just a little bit better. The next heat promises to be hot. The reigning world champion and world record holder, Team New Zealand, facing off against Team Hungary. True timber sports fans will maybe remember these scenes. Team New Zealand in full swing on their way to taking the title last year in Stuttgart, where they only just beat the Americans in a breathtaking final, and the Australians came in third. New Zealand has been one of the top teams in the Timber Sports Series since it began. Of course, for Jason Wynyard, the 5-time winner of the single world championship, the team event is something rather special.
As a team, we are not only mates, we are competitors against each other. So for us to come together and compete as a single unit, it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling to be able to win together when you're competing with rivals and you put everything aside and compete for your country. So it's a big honour to be able to do that.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Good even start by both teams, and look at this. Head to head, shoulder to shoulder, neck and neck. How many uses of the word can we say? Both cookies looking good. They both fall at the same time, and now moving over to the underhand chop. Yeah, looking good. Team New Zealand over onto the other side first. New Zealand with the advantage. They're through the underhand chop first. Now it's on to single buck. This is a strong one here. Look at these guys go. Single buck is almost all the way through for New Zealand. It's a good cookie. And now Jason Wynyard takes over on the standing block chop. New Zealand in full control of this head-to-head battle here. A couple more blows by the looks of it for the big man Jason Wynyard, and he's through. 1:03.31. Hungary still battling away at it. István Juhász finally getting through in 1:17.77. But wait a minute, something looks wrong here. The judges have to take a look at the replay. It could be a penalty. 4 fingers from each hand have to be over the line. So what does this mean?
15-second penalty. New Zealand, hands not on the wood. Winner is Hungary.
Oh, a small mistake ends the contest for the defending champion Team New Zealand, and Hungary go through by a fingernail.
Yeah, so in the stock saw discipline, we have a requirement that the competitors' hands need to be up on top of the wood. And we have a line drawn down the middle of the block, and 4 fingers of each hand have to be crossing that line at the start when I fire the gun. And we have cameras focused right down on their hands. And we check those. And unfortunately, the competitor had 1 finger that was behind the line, and so we had to make the call to disqualify him.
Nobody was expecting this to happen. New Zealand are out. That is a bitter pill to swallow for the Kiwis.
Just when I bent down to pick the saw up, I twisted my hand, so one of my fingers come back over the line on the top.
It's just one of those things. Sometimes the pressure and competition and all the noise, you forget the basic things. It's unfortunate. I think we should have been probably 15 seconds faster, and then the penalty wouldn't have made any difference.
So, who will qualify for the remaining places in the quarterfinals of the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014? We'll be back with these next 3 heats right after this short break. Welcome back to the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. The defending champion New Zealand are out of the contest due to a penalty. Hungary go through to the quarterfinals. The next heat, Canada up against Poland. Canada's best newcomer is the 25-year-old Sterling Hart from Vancouver.
Leading up to this event, all the guys in my team are my biggest competitors, you know. We all had to compete against each other to get this spot on the individual team. and now all of a sudden we're in a training camp together, all sharing our big secrets that we've worked our whole lives to get. And, you know, everybody holds back just that little bit, but everybody's been great. We've been sharing equipment, sharing our deep, dark secrets about wood chopping and sawing, you know, because we all have that one goal of a gold medal here.
So it sounds like they're going for gold.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Canada got 4th place last year, and with some new talent in the mix, it could be good for the Canadians. It's a good start for both teams in any case as they get through that first cookie, and it is ever so slight a lead for Canada as they go to the underhand chop. They're through first now. Single buck for Canada, looking really good. Sterling Hart rolling through that wood like it is butter, but this time it is Poland that gets through first, and they go to the standing block chop, having a slight lead, coming late from behind, looking good. Poland, solid. Canada, solid. Who will get through first? It's Canada! Oh, by just the hair of their chinny chins. 104.90 to 105.68 for Poland. A close call, but there's a flag down. Who's made a mistake? The judges will check the slow-mo again. The slow motion shows that the Polish cookie wasn't complete.
And the winner is Team Canada.
So Canada goes through, and the fans are loving it. The replay shows that it was just one blow in front for Team Canada. How close is that?
It was very nerve-wracking because everybody was cutting well in our team and their team, and it was a very close race, so can't ask for better at the World Championship.
The second to last heat in this round here in the Olympiahalle in Innsbruck, Team Czech Republic meet Team Switzerland. Martin Komarek prepares for the underhand chop. He came 3rd last year in the single championship and set a high goal for his team this year.
This year we want to try be the best European team, which we can, because our team is individually very strong. But no one's know. It's about the luck of wood, about how you concentrate. So we'll see, but we have good chance to be the best European.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Solid start for Switzerland as they got on the saw very quickly and were first to start the cut. And it looks good for them as they come through that cookie ahead of Team Czech Republic and are already on the underhand chop. However, Martin Komarek holds the European record for underhand chop, so the Swiss are in tough against this very strong competitor, and he is through first. Unbelievable time, fantastic. And now on to single buck. Team Czech Republic have taken control of this race. Their cookie is looking good, and it's through, it's solid, and everything is looking fair as we go to standing block chop. Switzerland still trying to get through and finally do, and now they are on to the standing block chop. Czech Republic moving over to the other side. Jan Holub doing a very good job for them, and he is through with a solid final blow. Switzerland's Pirmin Gnadiger trying to get through there. Boy, he is really fallen behind. The Czech Republic 105.61. Switzerland finally at 117.44. The turning point right here for the Czech Republic with Martin Komarek on the underhand chop. And the final blow from Holub. In the last heat of this round, it's Team Australia facing the locals, Team Austria. The visiting Australians have already taken the opportunity to find out how hospitable the Austrians are. Langschlag in Lower Austria. It was here at the training and education facility that the teams got a chance to measure each other up a few days ago. The Australians contacted us and asked if they could come. The idea behind team building, making friends and looking after them is very important in Austria. When someone asks to come, we give them a warm welcome. We cleared the hall and prepared a good training opportunity for them. And that's just what the Australians got. After they arrived, they had a look around and were very pleased with what they saw.
So it's really good for your preparation if you can get to a facility somewhere and chop some blocks and really settle in. So yeah, we contacted the Austrian guys a few months ago, and yeah, they were really obliging and welcomed us with open arms, and they've been really helpful here for us. Supplied a lot of wood and really helped us out, so it's been great.
Over the big long plane ride and then test some axes out and just go for a few run-throughs for our team format.
And it seems that the Austrians also learned and benefited from the visit of the Australians. Yeah, you can learn a lot from watching, and it's very interesting. Whenever the Australians or other foreign visitors are here, you can always learn something from them. And that's how it came to happen that a few days before the World Championship, Langschlag provided the perfect stage for an international warm-up that helped both the Australians and the Austrians. Right now, so close to the contest, it's super to push it a bit more with more athletes and a bit of a friendly rivalry. It's a really good way to simulate a contest situation.
Yeah, so we just had a bit of a team meeting and come up with who's going to do what discipline. So yeah, we've got a few options, but we're going to qualify with this team that we're running with now. So I'll be on the stock saw, Brayden Meyer will be cutting the underhand, Laurence on the single buck, and Dale Beans with the standing block.
This is my first year here, and but it's been great. The Austrian boys have been absolutely brilliant, and you know, we're trying to pass on a bit of knowledge to them, and we're trying to get a bit of knowledge back out of them. So it's a two-way street.
Well, obviously, at the moment down in Australia, we're coming into our summer, so it's a lot warmer. So we've got to get here a little bit earlier to train in the colder conditions, just to get the bodies used to it. Obviously, get over the jet lag. You know, it's a long flight to come to Austria, so you just get here a little bit, a few days prior, just to get over the jet lag, start to get used to the new time difference. And obviously the weather is the biggest one to get used to, the difference in temperature.
We all know where we stand and how everyone works. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice your spot and say, look, you're cutting better than me on the day, and sit out. So, but at the end of the day, we're all a team, so we've all accomplished something.
You can mental train as much as you like to prepare, but nothing beats actually running through and doing the events, you know.
Let's go to Innsbruck.
Now the training partners get to meet each other again in competition. Last year, the Austrians made it to the quarterfinals where they lost to New Zealand, and the Australians made it through to the semis.
Get set!
Start for Australia here, a bobble by Austria on the stock saw, but look at this. Austria pulling through. It looks like they might even beat Australia in stock saw, and they do. They are onto the underhand chop first. Underhand chop is such a solid competition format for the Australians. Austria still struggling to get through, and Australia already on to single buck. They are looking very good here, keeping up their competition form. Austria still on single buck, and now finally moving over to standing block. Australia halfway through standing block, a couple of more blows in there through. Australia wins it 107-14. Austria finally coming through in 123-57. A good showing for the Austrians, but Australia will move on to the next round. Brad De Losa finishing it up on the standing block chop. Fantastic power, and Team Austria really takes the defeat with a sense of humor. Yeah, maybe next year we shouldn't share too many of our secrets with them. We'll have to be more careful. It's always a bit disappointing when you get knocked out, but Australia is one of the big boys. The 4 overseas teams, they're just fantastic. Unfortunately, we're out of it. But we wish the fans a nice evening. There's still lots to see and lots of fun. More action to come right after this break. Don't go away.
STIHL. Better garden power tools. From one generation to the next. STIHL, buy better.
Welcome back, everyone. The action's heating up here. Let's get going. Quarterfinals look like this. Sweden meets Hungary. Great Britain take on Canada. Team USA up against the Czech Republic, and Germany go eye to eye with Australia. But the team event in the STIHL Timbersports Series is more than just a sports event, it's a great experience.
Lights and music and commentary and thousands of fans, and it brings a different atmosphere to it. And it used to be that, oh yeah, you're a lumberjack. Well, what does that mean? Like you cut trees down? But now, if I say I'm a lumberjack, people go, oh, what do you mean? Like, oh, well, have you seen the STIHL Timbersports Series on TV? Oh, you do that. You know, people view us as athletes now.
You have country pride, and you want to do the best, not only for yourself, but your teammates and your countrymen. And so that to me is more emotional. That to me is more invigorating. That to me is more passionate. That to me is more about what it means.
There's always probably, pressure in a team event that you definitely don't want to let the team down.
So you want to do the best you possibly can do, but you don't want to go too hard to where you make mistakes.
It happens. Everybody's chopped a bad block in a team's race before, and nobody wants to, and nobody blames another person.
We're all mates. We give each other a hard time after everything's over, but we forget, get on with it, focus, and that's where we're at.
I wouldn't say any of us are actually nervous. When you get on that stage, you're chopping the same block that you've chopped 1,000 times in training. You're not chopping a block against Jamie Koger, against Jason Weider, against Brad De Losa. You're chopping the same block. It's not you against him, it's you against the block.
Winning in a team is much more satisfying.
I like it because there you have friends and you can share the happiness with your friends.
Next up is Team Canada taking on Team Great Britain. The Canadians came over several days ago and set up their camp close to Milan.
It's been huge for us being able to come over a week early before the World Championships. One thing is getting over the jet lag, but also being able to get your axe actually into the wood and get all the butterflies out and get all the rust off, and it's been huge. The Italian team's been great in hosting us and helping us out, preparing the wood for us, and having a nice dry place to train's helped a lot too.
Other years we've turned up the day before and it's hard to adjust. And this, we can adjust the time, have a hit out and get comfortable.
It's been raining in Italy since we landed. Actually, we landed the first day in Milan, and we had a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. But after that, the day we started training, it's been non-stop rain.
Now let's see if the preparations will pay off. Canada made it to the semifinals last year and finished in 4th place. Great Britain only made it to the final round of 16. So Canada starting as the favorite in this one, but as we know, anything can happen in timber sports.
Get set.
Sterling Hart starting for Canada in the stock saw. Both teams looking pretty even as we get down to midpoint of this first cookie. And Canada is through first. Great Britain coming through second. Moving on to the underhand chop. Lots of support by both team members. Here we go. Canada through on the underhand chop, looking really good. Britain struggling to get some momentum. Canada now moving on quickly to the single buck, but here comes Great Britain. They're so good in this discipline. They're all finally getting on to the standing block chop. Sterling Hart keeping his guys motivated. Standing block chop looking good, and Mitch Hewitt is through on standing block. Canada gets it in 58.09. A fantastic time. Great Britain in 1:08.10. So Canada goes on to the next round. They also set the standard with 58.09, the first sub-1 minute time so far, and their best time in this event.
Our whole game plan is just to run clean and go as fast as we can in every event and see where we end up.
Next battle, Team Czech Republic getting warmed up. Their opponent, Team USA and Arden Kogar.
It's going to be a good race. Who knows who'll come out victorious, but we're going to give it all we got.
Team USA finished second last year, just 6/100ths of a second behind New Zealand in a nail-biting final that ended in favor of the Kiwis. The Czechs dropped out in the round of 16 against Australia. Lots of preparation still going on here by both teams before Judge Rich Hallett gives them the go-ahead.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Great start by both the US and the Czech Republic, looking solid here. Let's see who gets through that first cookie in the stock saw, and it's going to be the USA getting through first, and here come the Czech Republic. Such a strong discipline by both of these teams on the underhand chop. It's going to be, Martin Kormarek getting through first, and Arden Kogar not far behind him. Now on to single buck, and again, the USA super strong here. They get through first, and now it's on to standing block chop, and it's looking pretty close here. Both of these guys super strong. Jason Lenz for the US, Jan Halub for the Czech Republic. And oh my goodness, a final massive blow from Jason Lenz. gets the USA through in 57.22, beating the best time of the Canadians at the event. Fantastic. Kogar hitting here on the turn during the underhand chop. Jewett mastering the single buck, the USA, so solid, and Lentz finishing it off for them. The next quarterfinal, Germany meets Australia. Who's going to take this last ticket to the semifinals? We'll find out right after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. Team Sweden, Canada, and USA have secured their spots in the semis, so now let's see what happens when Team Germany meets Australia. This is my first World Championship, and I'm looking forward to compete against such great athletes as the Australians. The Australians are well used to the atmosphere at the World Championship, but that doesn't mean that they've seen everything already.
The scenery was beautiful, you know, it's really spectacular, snow-capped mountains everywhere. I think a few of the guys, it was their first time, so they were pretty excited about that.
So with that new experience, it's time to hit the Timbersports stage. Team Australia finished third last year and want to improve on that this time. Team Germany were the best European team, finishing fifth overall. It seems as though the adrenaline has pushed the times up, the USA and Canada both with fast times under a minute. So will Team Australia or Team Germany be able to pull that off? Let's see.
Get set.
Great start by both teams, even on the stock saw. It appears as though there's a slight advantage here for Team Australia, and no, in fact, it goes to Team Germany getting through that stock saw cookie first, and now on to underhand chop. Brent Rees for the Australian gets through first really quickly, and Danny Marr still working on it as the Australians are already over onto single buck. Look at how solid they are. Dirk Brown, this is one for him though, and he got through there pretty quick to give his team a chance to get back into it. And now it's back to our last two choppers here. Will it be Australia? It will be 56-54. Unbelievable. Australia betters the best time of the day. Germany with 1:12.09. A solid performance by the Aussies. Fantastic performance by the Australians. Next up for them is the semifinals. Team Germany just couldn't match the power of the Aussies. Dale Beams here with his final swing. Such a fast time has got to be good for the team's confidence.
Yeah, I think if we keep going the way we're going, I think we'll do really well. I think we will hold that trophy.
The Olympia Hall in Innsbruck is reaching boiling point here as the two semifinals promise to be very exciting. The first between Sweden and Canada. The second will be between USA and Team Australia, a clash of the Titans. The winners will meet each other in the grand finale. The losers will battle it out in the bronze round. First up, Canada against Sweden.
That's going to be a good race. I know pretty much all the guys from Sweden, and then they're going to give everything they have. So hopefully we're going to beat them.
The blades have been sharpened, so let's get it on. Team Canada finished fourth last year. This year they want to be on the podium. For Team Sweden, just getting this far is a big success. The first semifinal, the focus is as sharp as those blades we just talked about. Precise preparations on both sides and full-on concentration. Here we go.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Good solid start from both teams, even on the stock saw. Let's see who comes out of this one first. Looks like it might be Sweden. Yep, and they dropped the disc first, but not far behind is Team Canada. Moving on over to the underhand chop. Johannes Eriksson going up against Marcel Dupuis. Dupuis is through first. Eriksson sticking a saw, having to step up, but he finally gets through. And now single buck. This one looks no problem at all for Team Canada as they've got the lead going to the standing block chop. Sweden still working on the single buck, and they have to wait for that disc to drop. It finally does, and now Pontus Sky can finally get going on it. But look at that, Mitch Hewitt, a final blow gets Canada through in 102.14. So they will move to the final, and Sweden 121.51 will battle it out for a bronze medal. Great performance from Canada. Check out the replay. JP Mercier on the single buck and the decisive moment on the standing block chop. Team Sweden gave it their best. They have to be satisfied with that result all in all.
We had a good cut, everybody. We're so proud to be where we are right now.
In the second semifinal, it's Team USA against Team Australia. Both teams belong to the best of the best.
We're coming on now. We had a long time on the plane. We're just waking up.
Last minute warm-up for Arden Kogar. Even the 2013 single world champion Brad De Losa looks a little anxious. Both teams have been preparing for months. Both teams have won before, but only the best team will qualify for the big final. You can feel the tension in the air here in the Olympiahalle. It is absolutely unbelievable as two mammoth teams will be going head-to-head here.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Perfect start by both teams, Australia and the USA looking super solid. Look at how close these are on the stock saw. Both discs dropping almost simultaneously over to the underhand chop, and this is where Arden Kogar is so strong. Underhand chop, Brent Rees showed really good skills earlier on, and Brent Rees is through first and is going over to single buck now. Single buck, Laurence O'Toole for the Australians, Dave Jewett for the Americans. Jewett through fast, and now standing block chop, Jason Lentz and Dale Beams going head-to-head, and this is going to be where it all comes down to who will cut off the top first. It's the Australians in a time of 55.79. Another time improvement. Both teams under a minute. Fantastic. Big celebrations for both these teams. Brad De Losa, Brent Rees, Laurence O'Toole, and Dale Beams. They're going to fight it out in the final. Team USA did very well. It was really close, but they'll be handling themselves in the bronze round.
We gave them a good race. We gave them everything we had. We were leading into the last block, and I was just tickled to death to be with these boys up here today representing the United States of America.
It was close, and I congratulate the USA, but we're happy with a win. It don't matter how much it is, a win's a win.
So the final lineups are set. Sweden and the USA will fight for bronze, while Canada and Australia have got their eyes set on the gold medal. That's coming up after the break.
STIHL. Better garden power tools. From one generation to the next. STIHL, buy better.
Welcome back to the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. Let's take a look at the board. Canada and Australia have qualified for the big final. In the small final, it's Team Sweden and Team USA chasing after a bronze medal. Last team talk for the Americans, and they're ready. The contest for third place can begin. Final preparations for both of these teams as they set themselves up for this consolation final. It's for the bronze medal.
Hands on the wood. Get set.
Good start here in Stockton. You can see the style difference for the Swedes compared to the Americans. And look at this, it's both working. Both cookies drop almost simultaneously. Moving over to the underhand chop now. This is where Arden Kogar is so strong. Johannes Eriksson for the Swedes. Both of them turning almost at the same time. Arden Kogar steps down, giving Eriksson a chance, but Kogar, his power just gets him through there. And finally, Eriksson gets in, and we move to the single buck. And the USA is through. Dave Jewett so strong there as we move now for the USA over to the standing block. Jason Lentz just powers through this block. So far, he's already on the other side. The USA with a massive lead over Team Sweden, and a couple more blows, and Lentz might get through there easily in 108.68. Sweden still working on their standing block. A couple more blows for Pontus Sky, and he's finally through at 123.60. A good win for the U.S. They get bronze. So it's a podium spot for Team USA. Team Sweden is the best European team in 4th. Although the dream of winning a gold has eluded the Team USA guys, they can be proud of 3rd place and a good performance.
We came in 3rd place tonight, and I'm proud of my boys. We did great. However, this is just more incentive to work harder, train more, come back, and kick butt.
Now it's time for the big final. A few practice swings for Sterling Hart. The team's getting ready, and the tension is mounting. This is the gold medal round. Who will it be?
Well, this race coming up is going to be all out. They don't leave anything out there, so you're going to have to bring everything you got, because that's what the race is, it's the finals.
On the other side, a very focused Team Australia.
Yeah, that'll be really tough to beat Canada. We just beat them last year by half a hit for 3rd place, so I'm sure they'll remember that, and hopefully we can stay on top of them again this year.
We didn't come all this way for nothing.
And we're pumped, we're ready.
The contest has reached its climax. Australia against Canada. Who will become the STIHL Timbersports Team World Champion 2014? Both teams belong to the big boys in the timber sports scene. Last year it was Australia 3rd, Canada in 4th. The big final. It's been all about this moment. Every little detail is now decisive. The athletes once more into the breach. No words need be said here between any of the gentlemen. They set themselves up ready to battle for the top spot on that podium. Australia versus Canada.
All right, gentlemen, timers ready, contestants ready, hands on the wood, get set.
In stock saw, Sterling Hart going head-to-head with Brad De Losa. Looking good for both of these gentlemen as these saws come through that cookie pretty evenly. Both of them hit the ground at the same time. Moving on to the underhand chop for the Canadians, Marcel Dupuis. For the Australians, Brent Rees, and we saw how solid Brent Rees was before. Both of them turning to the other side pretty much at the same time, and it's Brent Rees getting through just ahead of Marcel Dupuis. Laurence O'Toole now takes over for the Australians on single buck, looking very good. However, he's going up against Canada's JP Mercier, who has a ton of experience and is so solid here. Let's see if the Canadians can catch up. It's looking pretty good for them, and it looks like they're going to drop the cookie first. Moving over to Mitch Hewitt for the Canadians on standing block, and Dale Beams for the Australians. Hewitt already over to the other side. Oh, the tension is mounting. Beams now moves over to the other side. Will it be Canada? Will it be Australia? The time is running. Oh, and a final massive blow by Beams gets Australia through in 56.80, just ahead of the Canadians, who made it in 57.91. Fantastic.
And the new world champions are Team Australia.
Brad De Losa, Laurence O'Toole, Brayden Meyer, Brent Rees, and Dale Beams have done it. They are the STIHL Timbersports Team World Champions 2014. Let's enjoy some of that hot action from the final. Third place for Team USA, a worthy effort by a solid bunch of guys. Second place goes to Team Canada, silver for them today. For Team Australia, the dream came true. They're standing on top of the podium, but it feels more like the top of the world, and triumphantly they received the Team World Champion trophy.
Yeah, it's a great feeling, you know. Yeah, I was getting a little bit anxious there. Laurence had a couple little hiccups with the single buck.
Didn't perform as well as I hoped to myself, but I was fortunate enough that we had a great team that could sort of cover a few mistakes.
You don't let little mistakes like that get in your head. You've got to do what you've got to do. He did what he did. He had a little mistake. I've got to do what I can do the best I can.
The STIHL Timbersports is the biggest series and the biggest atmosphere that you'll compete on. So it's sensational. You know, to get a win in that sort of field is unbelievable.
Team Canada accepting silver with pride and some fun.
It was that close, you know, but we raced our best race. We did everything we could. Australia is such a talented team. we were happy just to be that close, you know.
We just made Canada proud in STIHL Timbersports history for the first time. So when you do something like that, the only thing that you can do is be happy, and I expressed it in tears, I guess.
That was the STIHL Timbersports Team World Championship 2014. And we'll leave you now with the highlights of the day. Goodbye from the Olympia Hall in Innsbruck. See you next time.